Autobots, Decepticons, and Duelists. Welcome to today's video. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about Dogmatika Genesis. Excuse me, sorry. It's a trap card with the effect that reads target 1 Banish, Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, or Link monster, and 1 effect monster your opponent controls of the same type. So Fusion, Xyz, Link, whatever. Return that banish monster to the extra deck, and if you do that, negate the effects of that monster your opponent controls. You can only activate one Dogmatika. Oh my god, I can't talk today. Dogmatika Genesis per turn. Okay, it's a normal trap, so you gotta use it on your opponent's turn. Okay, I want to talk about the art really quickly. This guy, I want to say, is the cult leader, and this is either a new person joining in the ranks. If you get a closer look, you can kind of tell she doesn't look like any of the other Dogmatikas that we've seen. And these are all like the little henchmen, who I like the little Wolverine claws. I like that reference. Another fun fact, I looked up the definition of Genesis because, curiosity got me piqued. Because there's so much hidden lore between these cards. So it means the origin or mode of formation of something. So I believe this is like a ceremony where they're ranking her in, where she's getting into the ranks or something of the, I know it's not church, I believe, but I'm calling it church. I think that's what's going to happen. That is actually pretty cool. But now we're going to jump straight to the card effect because that's what you guys came here for. Now, the target the banish from Fusion Xyz, all that jazz. That's actually very useful, especially since you pair Dogmatika with Fallout of Albaz, and so sometimes you gotta banish some fusion monsters. So that's really helpful. But I do like how they gave this card the ability to bring back Synchro Xyz or Link monsters through its effect. That's actually very helpful in my opinion. And then you target the same monster. So I guess this card kind of relies on your opponent having at least one extra deck monster, but to be fair, most of the powerful cards that people use are extra deck monsters, so it makes sense to at least do that. But I guess another problem is you need to have that same type of monster in the graveyard. Not the graveyard, oh my god. In the banner stone. So yeah, it all really depends on what the deck you play and what your opponent plays. But it's still a useful card in my opinion. Then you return that card to the extra deck. That's helpful because again, you can bring it back depending on which one it is, especially fusion, it'd be easier. And then you negate the effects of that monster your opponent controls. That pretty fair. I mean, negate the effect. It would be kind of nice if you could return it, but Dogmatika is all about negating extra deck monsters. So, which now that I look about it, that's their whole gimmick, is negating extra deck monsters, which means they don't want other people from the outside world to join their ranks. That is pretty funny, actually, that I just thought of it right now. That's crazy. Okay. And then another drawback, you can only activate this card once per turn. That's pretty fair, actually. I mean, no offense. I don't really think anyone's going to be... I mean, you can still play threes, but I'm not saying everyone's going to set 3. Oh, boom, I got 3 synchros, and boom, my opponent's got 3 synchros. I activate all 3 of these, return them back to the extra deck. Boom, they are negated. No, that's not usually how it works. They usually have like at least 1 fusion, maybe 2, and like a synchro monster or maybe a ritual monster. But the point is, there's never gonna be like 3 of them anyways. So I get the drawback, but it was a little unnecessary. Yeah. Overall, I think this is a good card. It definitely would work in the Dogmatika playstyle. I do think this card's a little hyper-specific. I mean, this kind of relies on your opponent having, not the same deck, but having similar extra deck to you. Like, if you can banish Xyz, okay, perfect. Or all of these and you have all of them in your extra deck, and so does your opponent. Okay, perfect. But not every deck is the same. Like, Dark Magician, they don't have any synchro monsters. They only have fusion monsters. And what if you only got like 2 or 3? They could have 4 or 5 fusion monsters. I'm just saying, this is a useful card. I'm not denying that. I'm just saying this one might be a little too hyper specific and probably doesn't see as much play as it should. But then again, when you have Fallen of Albaz, you really only need 2 cards. So, yeah. But, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I hope to catch you all in the next one. Catch you all later.